Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in. I'm sitting here with this ASSA lock that I got from Johan in Sweden. His YouTube username, I'm gonna put the link in the description to his channel, so go check him out. Before I run out of battery, because I just noticed that I only have a few minutes with battery, let's do this quickly. I got this lock in a package a couple of weeks ago. I tried to pick this particular lock straight out of it. When I opened the package, failed miserably. Picked it for about an hour before I learned how it feels, because this is a custom-made lock with custom pin lock with custom-made pins. Yeah, I gave up about 30 minutes into the first pick. Picked on it for about 30 more minutes before I had an opening. I got stuck in a little devious pin that he put into it, but it didn't come with a key. So after I picked it the first time, I made a key for it. So that's the bitting. It isn't a pretty key, but it works. Just one that I made pretty fast. So there we go. I'm gonna try to tell you what's going on, but the lock itself, just you do one mistake and you drop several pins and you have to start basically all over. Yep, but enough talking, down to business. Let's do a little like that. This lock is a little devious. As I touch the 7th pin, it immediately drops down into a full set, giving you a good amount of confidence. As you move through the lock, you get good false counter rotation on some spools. Very familiar. Feels like fabricated commercially available pins. And you had done one pass through the lock. Something about the 6th pin, but I can touch it, release. I touch it and I release the tension, so that feels set. Maybe the key pin. Just want to push into the Bible. We're not gonna allow that. There's something on number 5. But then there's not much going on. Try to do a little bit with the 7th, but nothing much. And that 6th pin is what holds us up, and it took me about an hour to figure that out. It feels just like a very low cut pin, and the key pin trying to force its way into the Bible, because you have a little movement but not enough to be a spool. But of course, as I was picking, I do have encountered those pins before, and I have made pins which behaves like that. You basically have to counter rotate yourself, and in the process dropping everything you've done so far. Trying to set pins again, trying to get that 6th pin set, and there we go, I think. And now the 7th is a little, there we go. Now, after you clear that 6th pin out of the way, you should be able to do the rest, because now there's a bunch of spools and some serrated pins, which isn't quite standard, but they behave not that differently than the commercial serrated pins. Of course, you pick a little bit, lifting a little bit on the serration, and suddenly it drops into a full set, but spools and serrated. Oh, I think that's a really good full set. And from experience, it's only one type of pin that allows that dramatic full set, and that's a screw pin. I actually encountered it the first time from a lock I got from Karinsky77. He put a screw in it. I replicated that design into a upside down T-pin with a master wafer, and I expect Johan to have done the same thing. Of course, I cheat a little bit. I have opened it, and I know, and it's number 2. Careful. Balancing and lifting and open. Thankfully, that's a little bit faster than the first times, because I would not have the patience to do a half an hour sit down with this lock again, or an hour. So that's the clip. Now, of course, I have picked this lock, I believe, 5 times with this session, and that helps a lot. So even though I picked it now in about 5 minutes, as I said, it took me an hour to pick it the first time. So as you pick it, you learn, you remember what binding order the different pin designs give you of feedback. And of course, with this lock, if you don't get that 6th pin, as I will show you in a moment, if you're not aware of that one, you will most likely just believe it to be key pin, set pin, and the key pin trying to force its way into the Bible. At least that was what I did or believed, until I remembered that I have made pins like this myself. I'm just gonna quickly cut this one, and I'm gonna show you the pins afterwards. The package came with a note saying the lock contains something old and something new, and we see here that the lock has some standard spools, 3 of them, not 2 actually, because there's a little threading on that one, but we can look at it together. That first spool has some threading on it. I can't say I felt those serrations. Now the number 2 design is the one that gives us that dramatic full set. It's sort of a nail or screw. I tried to do some serrations on that design, but honestly I can't feel the serration, so this design is pretty cool. Not hard to pick, but gives us the dramatic falset, and that's a cool feature. Standard spool, sort of like the number 2, but with a more dramatic serration, and I think I felt that one. Standard spool, and now the 6th. We can jump to the 7th. There you go. Pretty cool looking pin. I'm gonna show you why the number 6 is tricky. Whoops. There you go. As you can see, you have the ability to move the plug a little bit, and the Bible will cross over part of the hole and just hello doggy. Don't eat trash. Move. Move. Yeah, move. Yeah, the plug turns a little bit, and then that flat surface will be the indication that something flat is trying to move into the Bible. Normally something flat is the key pin, so for an hour I thought that was just a key pin, and as you can see, you get several deep serrations on the way up, and there's a little spool cut there as well. And as I recall, I struggled a little bit with that last serration as well, so this is a very good pin design. Very good. Very challenging. So thank you, Johan. And everyone else, thanks a lot for watching. See you again.